like youth is a room we haven't really lived in yet. Like we moved out without settling in and spent days of suitcase living too afraid to unpack the boxes we brought along. Tethered by this sense that whatever's inside them won't suffice to face whatever's coming next. This sense of being overpacked but ill-prepared. And wishing we could go way back to study lines in the red dirt of our yards like maps to novelty. To analyze the physics of the swing set, to remember what wings felt like. To remember being closer to the sky than ever since. But we all know flying isn't something you can just get back. And wings and dreams and toothpaste are among the things that we forgot to pack when we left home. The train track from home to here has trees like a child's trees. And glued to a passing plastic seat, I want nothing more than to walk among them, to dig at the roots for a child's buried love, to cradle in the crooks and hollows like being held purely by a moment. But the train doesn't stop here because it has somewhere else to be. I have somewhere to be in a way my childhood trees would never understand or forgive. I'm getting old. I found a white hair in my eyebrow. And I make promises I know I won't keep. I'm forgetting how to write honestly, to speak in unqualified truths and say what I feel without forgetting what that was by the end of the sentence. So the train keeps on and I fall asleep. Some days I wake up and I want to wipe my corneas clean, to see the bright color of the world we were born into, the crust of it fresh and gleaming, but I don't remember the last time I saw a forest with just my eyes. Without, where are we? Are we there yet? Or windows in the way? But we're still so young. Maybe we're old enough to be embarrassed by enthusiasm, can slouch in so many ways to say we really don't give a shit. But we still get hooked. There's still somewhere inside us where good can catch hold and hum and make us sway to a rising beat. I know we're young. Young enough to think in songs and not old enough to write good ones. Young enough to say I love you and mean it. To say my friends are my home and mean it. To hold good days in my hands like sunflower seeds and suck them hollow in the middle of bad nights. To sustain on yesterday and tomorrow. And if that's not young and stupid, I don't know what is. Young enough to want anger. To want word war waging. Something I can raise my voice and rigid my wrists to have fury and sorrow and clenched fists and blues music in my veins. Bodegas in my heart and fire escape summer night Brooklyn bright on my brain. But now I'm old enough to know better. To know I don't have a sorrow worth singing about. My tomorrow is as unfairly blessed as my yesterday, so my throat chokes off before I say the words or belt the notes. Because let's be honest, I'm young, the hell do I know? I know youth is a room of one's own and a door with an inside lock, where we can sleep in and write with our shirts off, skin like cheesecloth, love leaking through our pores like whispers under a door jamb. And youth is opening the door to let the light in and letting the love air out like skin in the summertime because we're young enough to love hair on bare shoulders, and turning our faces to kiss the rounded peaks that no one else will kiss. I want a lifetime to lie back on my bed and ask questions to the ceiling cracks and not really need an answer. Too young to get old, you know? We talk about always and never. But it takes less than a tall tree or a night sky to understand the measure of our timeline, to ground us in the now and the who knows what's next. We can stare each other down without blinking, but won't you miss kissing with your eyes closed? And saying, not, yes, but not, I guess so. saying just yes.